Hello, my name is Lindsay Reed, and this is my first artifact addressing Standard 1.1 Criterion 2, Set Professional Learning Goals. I have set two professional learning goals for myself. Goal 1 is to increase student engagement through the use of county-approved digital tools while staying relevant to the unit of study. Goal 2 is to implement assistive technology for students with disabilities to have the same learning opportunities and experiences as their peers. I have made steps towards meeting my first goal by connecting with our instructional technology coach for our zone. I participate in the monthly workshops learning about new county approved tools that can be implemented in the classroom to enhance student engagement. I frequently use the CCSD Instructional Technology Canvas course to check for new tools, trainings, and approved software in question. I have been introduced to several new tools throughout this program of study. Some of these resources include Freckle, Nearpod, Wakelet, MindMeister, Lookit, and more. Before using any new tools in the classroom, I make sure to go through the process of checking the software review page provided by CCSD Instructional Technology Department. The fifth grade ELA team meets each week to plan together and share ideas for using new technology tools that will increase student engagement for the performance tasks required in the unit of study for Cherokee County fifth grade ELA. I made steps towards meeting my second goal by providing specific students in my classroom with assistive technology tools. Some of these students receive accommodations through an IEP, while others receive accommodations through a 504 plan for ADHD. I researched assistive technology tools that would be beneficial for these students in meeting their goals. I added the Read and Write extension for students to use text to speech during research and reading assignments. This tool also provides digital highlighting abilities and vocabulary support. Some students who struggle with organization have benefited from MindMeister resources for planning their writing task in a more organized manner. I worked with our media specialist to develop a collection in Destiny Discover to support students during research on the civil rights movement. Some students have difficulty staying on track with so many online resources for research. The collections gave those students a starting point and kept them on track throughout their research, giving them the opportunity to complete the task independently. Hello, my name is Lindsay Reed, and this is my first artifact addressing Standard 4.2 Criterion 13, Co-Learn and Troubleshoot with Students. A digital tool I was able to co-learn with my students was Scratch. I wanted to use Scratch as a new way to add visual elements to their writing. Students work towards demonstrating mastery of a few different ELA standards, including summarizing the text, analyzing how visual and multimedia components contribute to the text, and using technology to produce and publish writing and interact with others. This project was completed in a student-centered classroom with a small group of students. Students used MentorText, Chromebooks, and Scratch software. They were given opportunities to collaborate with the teacher and peers, reflect, and offer feedback throughout this project. I made sure that Scratch was a county-approved digital tool before introducing it with my students. Scratch offers several tutorial videos on their platform to help you get started. I watched these tutorials with my students to begin learning about this tool. After watching the tutorial on getting started, we practiced creating sprites or characters and backgrounds that could move and change. I worked through this process while connected to my smartboard while students worked on their Chromebooks. As I learned how to navigate through the coding, I shared what I learned with my students, and they did the same. After learning how to use Scratch, I had students help me use this digital tool to write a summary of the fiction text we read aloud. We came up with ideas together that tried different ways to create the visual elements. Once students felt confident in their ability to use this tool, they worked with a partner to create a summary of a short story of their choosing. Some of the challenges I came across were that students needed background knowledge with graphing that I was not prepared for teaching. The way the sprites move is by changing the coordinates on an X and Y axis, and they don't do this until the end of the school year in fifth grade. Another challenge was that the app was difficult to use, but the only thing that was county approved was the app. They were not able to use the online version. Also, because I was learning this with the students, it took a little bit more time to troubleshoot problems because I was having to figure out how to troubleshoot with them and didn't have a solution for them right off the bat. Some of the successes were that students were really enthusiastic about coding. This isn't something that they had really done before. Students were participating in great discussions and collaborating with each other, sharing their ideas and how they were able to get things to work. And then this also provided opportunities for some of the students to shine who usually are pretty reserved and don't speak up much. This was a big talent for them. Hello, my name is Lindsay Reed, and this is my second artifact addressing Standard 1.2, Criterion 3, actively participate in local or global digital networks. Candidates pursue professional learning goals to explore and apply pedagogical approaches made possible by technology and reflect on their effectiveness. I am part of many professional learning networks to include blogs, podcasts, and social media platforms. Although I am part of many professional learning networks, I do not contribute to all of them. I set a goal during this program to become an active participant and make contributions in at least two professional learning networks. I became the professional learning community facilitator for our fifth grade English language arts team. I also created my own podcast to share a tech tool I use in the classroom called Book Creator. I took on the role as the facilitator for our fifth grade English language arts professional learning community, also known as PLC. We have a facilitator for each grade level. In grades 3 through 5, we have two facilitators since we are departmentalized, one for ELA and one for math. We meet every Wednesday, so I send out the PLC agenda at the beginning of each week to outline what we will discuss. Our first few meetings at the beginning of the year were focused on determining norms and roles for our meeting to help them run smoothly and stay on track. I highlight the focus for that week to help my colleagues prepare for our meeting. I also provide a brief description of the plan. As you can see in the artifacts, there are a number of topics we can discuss in the meeting to include instructional strategies, student work, feedback, unpacking priority standards, consistency and rubric scoring, etc. I record meeting notes for our instructional coach and other teachers to view at the end of the meeting. Another professional learning network I use is podcasts. I listen to the podcast Cult of Pedagogy to learn more about instructional strategies, instructional tools, behavior management, and more. As I was researching different technology tools, I discovered a tool called Book Creator that increases student engagement and promotes creativity for my fifth grade ELA students. I have found that it can be difficult getting some students motivated during writing workshops, so I thought other teachers might be having some of the same challenges. I have gained so much from listening to educational podcasts, so I decided to create this podcast to share the tool Book Creator and publish it in Podbean. My hope is that other teachers will hear my podcast and try this tool with their students. Hello, my name is Lindsay Reed, and this is my third artifact addressing Standard 1.3 Criterion 4, Research Article Annotations. Candidates stay current with research that supports improved student learning outcomes, including findings from the learning sciences. I'm a fifth grade English language arts teacher. Our school uses the model for departmentalization, so I teach two fifth grade ELA blocks each day. One class is co-taught, while the other class is gifted cluster. For my research, I chose to focus on the benefits of using assistive technology for students with disabilities. I found 15 articles on this topic that include qualitative studies, quantitative studies, and mixed studies. I created an Excel spreadsheet for each article with the following categories: the title, the year published, the author or authors, the publisher, the qualifications, topical connection, purpose or scope, contextual elements, major findings, strengths and weaknesses, and practical relevance. Below is a link to my Excel spreadsheet with all this information. All the articles in my bibliography are peer-reviewed from reliable sources. The articles are current, providing relevant and purposeful research to support benefits of using assistive technology. Before completing this research, I thought assistive technology was something only students with an IEP would receive. I also thought assistive technology tools were only very sophisticated hardware and software tools. After completing this research, I realized assistive technology has a huge range of tools and purposes. Any students can benefit from using these tools, not just students with disabilities. I started using the Read and Write extension, line guides, and immersive reader in Word to support many of my students.